Let's do the right. Look around. Oh, yeah, right here. Yes, exactly.
Managing too many things here. Hi everyone, I'm Deborah Farber, Senior Director of Privacy Strategy at BigID. And at BigID, we believe that privacy is a defining 21st century business issue. And what BigID really allows organizations to do is understand whose data an organization is collecting and storing across its enterprise, where it holds that data, in what context, and how that data is used. And so BigID is transforming how enterprises protect, govern, and assure risk to personal information to meet requirements like GDPR, CCPA, NYDFS, and other privacy and security regulations. And we automate the discovery process of all personal information. We map data flows. We help to manage and automate the access and deletion requests, consent governance, and we also scope data breaches as well really quickly so organizations can report on that as needed. And then consumers are becoming more and more aware of data breaches due to the Equifax breach, and as just one of the many examples. And data leakage generally, like the Cambridge Analytica challenge that, of not having the appropriate controls on that data. And so the company at a glance, we were founded in 2016. We had by our founders, Dimitri Sirota, who's our CEO, and Nimrod Vax, who's our head of product. Our MVP was released in 2017. And I've been an advisor for about 2 years during that time as they were building out the MVP, and then joined about 9 months ago because I think this is the most exciting product in the privacy compliance space in my 14-year career in privacy. So we're headquartered in New York City with all of our product and R&D in Tel Aviv. We've raised a total of $46 million. About 5 months after we raised our Series A, we won the RSA Security Innovation Sandbox Award last year, and then raised additional Series B, and we're just killing it right now. The global demand for privacy compliance is huge, so we've opened up sales offices in Europe, Asia, and Latin America, and we're experiencing 7 times year-over-year growth. So BigID has eliminated the inefficient and inaccurate process of legacy data discovery tools. We found that surveys and spreadsheets can't protect data, and organizations need something that's more data-driven to enable compliance, governance, and assurance. BigID enables enterprises to discover, inventory, and index personal information of any type by data subject or consumer, residency, and sensitivity without copying the data. We just index and point to it. Okay. BigID's data intelligence platform provides privacy-centric data insight. And this is just a couple of examples. I know I have to skip through this pretty quickly, but everything from finding all the personal information, documenting the data usage for GDPR's records of processing and CCPA inventory, assessing data and assessing risk on a continuous basis, rapid breach identification and response, and consent and opt-outs for people who want to opt out of the sale of their personal information. And as you know, there's a number of privacy and data protection laws that are growing globally that have to be addressed that are very similar to CCPA and GDPR. Traditional classification and catalog tools cannot address privacy use cases. They can only classify by type and category. And BigID classifies by person and household, residency, creation, similarity, access, with much more dimension in terms of data insights. BigID uses an agentless, API-first, machine learning-based discovery capability that correlates all personal information by relevance first, and then classifies and catalogs the relevant data. BigID's uses customer data as seed training for our machine learning model. And then, as you can see here, we can correlate by relevance, classify by type and similarity, catalog the metadata, and that enables the management and governance and assurance of that data. So we avoid the data silo problem. And then our correlation-first approach eliminates the silo problem. Since we're leading with correlation, we are able to first find the relevant data before we classify by type. And this is all the data types that we support. And so there's broader benefits for the privacy team, the security team, and the data governance team that I don't have time to go through all of. And then questions. The camera guy's happy, yes, no.
So you're getting at a problem that I deal with every day in my other hat where I work in camera medicine. How do you deal with our problem isn't so much PHI that's been managed very carefully. It's all the de-identified data sets that people then link and thereby increase the risk of re-identification. So it's supposedly de-identified, it's all legal, it's beautiful, no personal identifier, but then when you put two of them together, all of a sudden the cell sizes become small enough that you start dealing with it. How do you deal with that? Do you deal with that? I saw BigID in there.
Right. So currently, our installed solution, we're not SaaS, has read-only capability in the scanning tool, and we don't currently have write capability, but that's on the near-term roadmap where we're going to be able to de-risk the data that we are discovering and be able to even match the hashes that allow for kind of similar use case for what you're talking about in terms of de-identified data and whether or not what the risks are to that data. And we're really incorporating privacy engineering strategies to being able to de-risk that data in different ways.
And then related to that, what we see a lot also is that data is under proper governance until somebody copies it and takes it to Turkey with them, and then all of a sudden it's out of our control.
Right, so we are able to show who has access to all the different data and allows for, it's basically business intelligence into all your personal information and who has access to it. So it really is an ability to govern and alert where there's inappropriate accesses. We don't currently scan endpoints, but we do integrate with other tools that do. And so it enriches that data to be able to kind of manage some of those challenges. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you very much for the flexibility.
Thank you. And yeah, BigID was the fastest Series A to Series B that we've seen in maybe last few years. We have one more company before the break, then we'll give